Many devotees who have given their life to ISKCON later left, disappointed, frustrated, saying ISKCON's not the movement it was when I joined. Things are going on that I cannot support. Leaders are not acting the way I would expect them to act. They don't understand things the way they should. In all integrity, I can't support it. So they leave. And then they leave and they said, I'm not leaving Prabhupada, I'm just leaving ISKCON. I'm still following Prabhupada's instructions. So I want to discuss that. It's an important discussion because this is going on. As Prabhupada would say, these things are going on. I have many God brothers who have left ISKCON for various reasons. They've found very advanced devotees who they learned much from, and ISKCON demanded that they be loyal to ISKCON, not to these other people, and they had to make a choice. Others have found things in ISKCON that they don't feel they can support, or they have issues with leadership, issues with philosophical understandings, etc., etc. Some devotees have not been treated well, and they've just left out of feeling neglected, alienated, mistreated, and so forth. And there are many, many reasons. And certainly, anyone who's a sincere devotee who leaves ISKCON will not feel that they're leaving Prabhupada. They're just feeling like, this is not the movement that I can work with. This is not the movement I joined. This is now not the movement I want to be part of. And on the positive side, I would say that Prabhupada would understand that. If you can't work with an ISKCON, okay, but follow the principles that I've taught you. Continue that way. At the same time, I would say that ideally that's not what he wanted, because he told us, don't leave, work together, etc., etc. And many, many devotees who are working with ISKCON really find it an austerity to work within such a large organization. It would be easier just to work with a smaller group of like-minded people. There's no big authority over you, making decisions for you, curtailing you, accountability about what you're doing. It restricts our freedom. There may be ideas we have for preaching within ISKCON. It would not be acceptable. If we're outside, we can experiment with them. So it's understandable that people would want to be outside. But the problem or the difficulty is that it's not what Prabhupada wanted of us. I understand why people would leave, and many people have left with very good rationale. And I don't deny that. And if I said, you're not following Prabhupada, they would be offended. At the same time, I can't help but think that it was Prabhupada's desire that we work on his little baby ISKCON to help it grow, help it mature, help make it better. And we can do more to make it better from within it. Someone may feel, no, outside I can do more. I can have a better influence. But generally we see if you're working from the inside, you have more effect, you have more power, you have more influence. So I was thinking of a scenario. It's an interesting scenario. I go back to Godhead. I meet Srila Prabhupada. And if I had left ISKCON, and I stayed a devotee, followed the principles, I spread Krishna consciousness, I preached from Prabhupada's books, I distributed his books. But still, Prabhupada might say to me, why did you leave ISKCON? I told you never to leave. I mean, could you imagine? And so I think like that. I could also make up a list. I'm sure you could make up a list. There's reasons why it's difficult to stay in ISKCON. You see things and you think, I'm part of an organization that's not perfect, and it should be because it's a spiritual organization, and Prabhupada was a pure devotee. And still, this thought resonates in my mind, my heart. Prabhupada wanted us to work together. This was a very deep desire of his, to stay within the institution, support it in any way we can. So I just wanted to throw this out as a thought that maybe can help us, especially in light of the passing of Bhakti Chura Swami, who was so dedicated to Prabhupada's movement, even to the point that some people would criticize him. You're so dedicated, you're too dedicated. ISKCON's not that great, you shouldn't be so dedicated. But he felt very deeply that Prabhupada wanted us to stay. That was a very important order, and that if we didn't, we would be disobeying one of the most important orders of our spiritual master. So I just wanted to throw that out. And I know when I throw these ideas out, people who have left ISKCON, my godbrothers, will criticize me as being maybe a fanatic. I have my head in the clouds, or I buried my head in the dirt. I don't see what's going on. And I don't think it's fair to say I don't see what's going on. But this instruction of Prabhupada, it rings so deeply. And the life and soul of the disciple is the instruction of the spiritual master. Now, some people say, but Prabhupada started his own movement. Why can't we? Well, we can't because he never asked us to. Prabhupada tried to work within the Gaudiya Math. He didn't get any help. He was forced to start his own movement, but he tried to work with them. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta never gave him an order, don't start your own movement. He actually kept Prabhupada in some sense separate from Gaudiya Math to start ISKCON, to do his own thing. So I think it's worth considering these things and doing the austerity of working within ISKCON, because that's really what Prabhupada wants, and make it better. Now, there's been some discussion of maybe devotees who've gone outside and have their own organizations could be sisters to ISKCON, but that requires that they would work with the GBC, and many people have issues with that leadership and how it's working, and they can't work with it. It's just a reality. Still, I think we have to take within our heart this desire of Prabhupada for us to stay together and work together.